Welcome back. You're still watching the Afia Morning Show this Monday morning, the 6th day of October 2025. And what a weekend it has been. Welcome to a brand new week. Of course, it's going to be a quite interesting week for all of us here, of course, presenters and even you viewers as well, because a lot of things happened at the weekend that has now crescendoed to this Monday morning. I'm Natalie Uku, and Oji Wachuku is here with me. Oji,
hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
How was your weekend? Fantastic.
It was okay. It was good.
I thought you wanted to start crying, by the way. You know, like the Mona song.
Yeah. It was okay. It was good. I thank God, though.
Yeah.
The weekend came and that's gone. We're facing a new week upon us right now. Yeah. So we have to set out and go hustle. Definitely have to put some chica in our pockets. Yeah.
What's the chica?
The cheddar.
Okay, the cheddar then.
Yeah.
What does cheddar look like?
Cheddar looks like money. Green. You know, I think it makes sense when money, got a green color. Bad way some people use red or some other off colors. But I think when it has that green or lemon touch of green, right?
Yeah.
It makes it valuable and authentic.
That's right.
It makes it more something having. Right.
What does something having look like?
Something you spend, something you can't do without, because money makes the world go around. You have to make more.
All right, Oji. Of course, like we said, it's an interesting week ahead. While we're looking for, you said the green notes are preferable. Avoiding red, by all means necessary. We're joined now in the studio by Barrister Chiagozie Nwabuko, a legal practitioner. He's also a chartered mediator and conciliator. Barrister Nwabuko, so good to have you. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Natalie. Good morning, Oji.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
What was the highlight of your weekend?
Well, it was fun.
Oh,
It was
you liked
interesting.
yourself
It was
now?
restful. It was okay.
Yeah? Was it restful? What about when you were going through the web? Did you see anything interesting?
Certificate Sega.
Yeah. Scandals.
Yes. It's now traditional and customary to us. We saw it some time ago concerning our president. We are seeing it again concerning a minister in his cabinet. So let's see how it goes.
All right. So many interesting headlines. Let's take a look at some of them this morning, beginning with The Nation. Major story here. House of Reps Minority Caucus boils over leadership. Tinubu PDP chief hail Okpebolo's Edo Road Revolution. First Lady teachers are real heroes. Dangote Ethiopia PM break ground on $2.5 billion fertilizer plant. Nigeria's oil rigs increased by 762.5%. Away from The Nation, rather blurry one there, to Salient Times. Tinubu insensitive to Nigeria's worsening security crisis, according to the ADC. NDLEA intercepts 174 parcels of cocaine concealed in body cream containers at Lagos Airport. Imo bans mining, dredging in Owerri. I'll deport 150,000 illegal migrants each year, according to Badenoch. Emilokon, Tinubu's power minister Adelabu declares interest to contest Oyoguba. Man ingests poison after arrest for assaulting minor in Ondo. ACF, that's the Arewa Consultative Forum, raises alarm over alleged plots to cripple Dangote refinery. APC Lagos LGAs go spiritual after 5 women leaders die mysteriously. Zamfara reports 179 deaths in 12,052 cholera cases. Straight to Daily Global. Big story here. Imisi emerges winner of Big Brother Naija Season 10. Away from there, I am under serious pressure to join ADC, according to Tunde Bakare. UK-based NGO German firm Lift FCT School. 2027, Jonathan weighs ADC option amid comeback reports. Why Nigeria must not be the fall guy in the Sahel's disinformation game. On Daily Independent, experts see September inflation at 18.46% on back of falling food costs. Project further monetary easing at CBN November MPC meeting. Serap gives governors weekend 7 days to account for 14 trillion naira fuel subsidy cut savings. NUT pegs shortage of teachers at 194,876, 6 body for recruitment. MDGs, SDGs, part of AG manifesto in 1942, according to Tokumbo Awolowo Dosumu, as independence marks 70th anniversary of free primary education. And of course, away from there to The Guardian, governments may earn 1 trillion naira yearly from capital gains as new tax causes stir. World Teachers' Day, Tinubu NLC British Council laments education challenges. Tinubu's botched visit. Oti Carlo trade words ahead of Abia 2027. Brewers kick against tax stamps rollout, warn of inflationary impact. And lastly here, fresh violence, mass displacement, test government's grip on security.
Okay, Nigerian Tribune, 2027 disquiets in ADC over Obi's move. Party must consider zoning to South, attributed to Tanko Yanusa. He's running away from contest, NWC member. Next election will be 3-horse race, Chekwas Okorie. Tinubu PDP chieftain hail Okpebholo's road infrastructure revolution. Digital payments raise heats up. Fintechs drive 71.5 trillion naira transactions as banks monetize digital growth. Kwara scraps PTA levy, approves grant for public primary schools. Wike Fubara, warring political actors unite in Port Harcourt. In health, individuals with rectal bleeding are 8.5 times more likely to have colorectal cancer, says study. And lastly, right here on Nigerian Tribune, Dangote Refinery commends Tinubu security chiefs, ministers for averting Pengassan disruption. Moving over to Platform Times. Southwest stakeholders reject $2.5 billion JBS industrial farming plan, one on full colonialism. Say project threatens Nigeria's food sovereignty. Smallholder farmers warn of health risks displacement. NDLEA smashes UK-bound cocaine cartels, arrests kingpin 5 others. Wike Fubara close ranks again as loyalists meet in Port Harcourt. Kano anti-graft agency traces 4 billion naira to Ganduje's family port project. And this one says, Sanusi demands transparency on loans to women-led firms, seeks political quotas. Amidina is losing weapons to bandits in Kwara as insecurity escalates in North Central. Terror kingpin Maidawa. 35 others killed as troops record major breakthroughs nationwide. And lastly, special report wrought in Enugu schools. How a motokun chase extortion led to students' death. Moving over to The Matrix, 2027. Jonathan's bid faces opposition. Only his enemies want him to contest again, says Oshomole. It's a political risk that would lead or likely end in defeat, said Jandon. ADC, Nigeria under attack. Tinubu's government must stop pretending. World Teachers' Day. We honor your resilience, passion, service, says FG. I shall see teachers of improved welfare packages out of school children threat to Nigeria's future, says Peter Obi as he warns. CPPE urges FG to institutionalize framework to protect investors, employers. 14 trillion naira fuel subsidy savings. Serap to sue taxes governors Wike over non-accountability. Lastly, on The Matrix, Reps Constitution Review Panel to meet leaders of APC, PDP, LP, AD, others today. Daily Trust. Alleged forgery. UNN never issued me degree certificate, says Minister. Plot to remove Reps minority leader thickens. Experts link 194,876 teachers deficit to poor welfare. Senator Baru to distribute 20,000 naira each to 10,000 less privileged persons in Kanu. 751 LGAs lagging behind in fiscal transparency. Committee proposes 13 new emirates in Bauchi. Government queue to wedding guest at FCT. The political carnival at Nentawi's mother's burial. 4,778 die of cholera in 5 years. How we lost them within hours, says families, and why cases are rising, says experts. And lastly, The Punch. Terrorism, retired generals back calls for state of emergency. Ex-military chiefs state of emergency will speed up anti-insurgency efforts. Only large-scale troop deployments can defeat Boko Haram, attributed to northern leaders. Boko Borno dismisses call, says there are more entitled to opinion. Petrol remains 865 naira to a litre amid Dangote's free delivery. FX inflows push naira to 1,465 per dollar. Nigerians trade with African countries surged by 610 billion naira. E1 Lagos, Brazilian team win Lagos electric boat race. How Oshun Amotokun shot 2 siblings dead, attributed to their stepmother, as she tells the story. Gunmen kill 4, shoot teenager near Lagos barracks. And lastly, NMA conducts court order checks on Kanu, submits report.
All right, thank you, Oji, for those headlines. I think it's clear and evident where we're going to begin this morning, and that's on Daily Trust. And the boldest story there, UNN never issued me degree certificate. That's according to Minister Uche Nnaji in the alleged forgery scandal that rocked this weekend. So I'll take some details still from Daily Trust. Now, the admission apparently appears in the paper to have just come overnight. Maybe he just came and said, yes, it's true, I wasn't issued a certificate. But according to the details of this story, as reported by Premium Times and reproduced here on Daily Trust, I'll take it from here. The minister's admission is contained in a court filing in a case he instituted against the Minister of Education, the National Universities Commission, the University of Nigeria, its Vice Chancellor, Simon Otwanya, a professor, its registrar, a former acting Vice Chancellor, a professor, and the Senate of the University. Now, in the suit before Justice Hawa Yowa of the Federal High Court, Abuja, Mr. Nnaji sought through a motion ex parte an order granting him leave to issue prerogative writs prohibiting UNN and its officials from tampering with or continuing to tamper with his academic records. He also sought to leave to issue a prerogative writ of mandamus, compelling the university and its officials to release his academic transcript to him, and asked the Minister of Education and the NUC to exercise their supervisory powers to compel UNN to do so. Additionally, Mr. Nnaji requested an interim injunction restraining UNN and its officials from tampering with his academic records pending the determination of the substantive suits. Now, in her ruling on 22nd of September, Justice Yowa granted 3 of the prayers sought, but reportedly declined to issue any injunctive order against the defendants. And the case was then adjourned to today, being Monday, for further hearing. So these are a lot of legal words: mandamus, injunction, ex parte, so much. Could you break down what this truly means? This admission as presented by Minister Nnaji in that recent court filing.
Well, the body of the news tends to disagree with the headline. The headline says that he said that UNN did not issue him with a certificate, right? But then we see Nnaji throughout in the body of the publication saying that he went to court to stop UNN from tampering with his record. That is, he has a record with the institution. Maybe they're trying to publish something that wasn't his result, according to the application they filed in court. So he was actually saying, I schooled in UNN, right? And then I have a result, so you shouldn't tamper with my result. Yeah, about issue of expert means that the other party was not put on notice. It was an application that was made without serving the other party. That's expert application. You were talking about prohibition, stopping the party from doing a particular thing. Injunction, stopping a party from doing a particular thing. Mandamus, mandating a party to do a particular thing. So these are legal jargons. But then it appears from the publication that he schooled in UNN. But then somebody somewhat appears to be tinkering with his certificate and he's saying, don't do that. I have my records. Don't tamper with my records. So it doesn't support the bold headline that says that he has no certificate from UNN. No, so actually the body does not actually support the headline. He's simply saying, I have a result there. I graduated from UNN. But then somebody somewhere is trying to tinker with my certificate or my result. So don't do that. I think that's the corpus of the case.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, you followed up this case, right? You know, and how it's progressing. You know, from Uche Nnaji to the UNN and Premium Times investigation and all that stuff. What can you make out of all the lines drawn in between these three institutions, now Uchenadi, UNN, and Premium Times? Truth or lies, or a kind of a cover-up coming up at this point in time?
I think it's political, right? He has always been there. But there are indications that he may want to contest the governorship of Enugu State. Or for some other political reasons. Maybe he wants to go for senatorial ambition or governor of Enugu State. That is what these things are coming up. As long as I'm concerned, he's actually bothering himself because the constitution is clear. You don't need university certificate to contest anything in Nigeria. The constitution is very clear. School SAT. What is school SAT? Even if you have an F9 throughout all your courses, school SAT, you attempted in secondary school and you graduated. That is the qualification in our constitution. So I think it's political. That's why these things are coming up. And if you can remember, People's Gazette had issued a publication where they released a document purportedly from UNN stating that Senator Minister Chiagozie Nwabuko graduated from UNN and then that he has a certificate. So these things we are not very sure. But then, as the matter continues today,
right,
I think the truth will come out so we know who's actually lying.
It's quite heated because we do have another document that was released recently from the Deputy Registrar of the same institution. But before we get to that, let's now look at the part that pretty much agrees with the initial headline. Now, in paragraph 12 of that affidavit, according to this report by Premium Times, he stated that university admitted him in 1981 to study microbiology and biochemistry, and that he completed the program and graduated in 1985. But according to this paper, paragraph 13 contained the explosive admission, where he is quoted to have said that even though I am yet to collect my certificate from the third defendant, in this case that's UNN, due largely to the non-cooperative attitude of the third and fifth defendants, that's UNN, its vice chancellor and registrar, the third defendant issued a letter dated 21st December 2023 to People's Gazette, which stated amongst other things as follows. So basically that's quoting what you just mentioned about the initial document. But the key point here is that he's, according to this paper, said that he was yet to obtain it because of the uncooperative attitude. So the paper is asking this question: how do you have a certificate to present if you did not obtain it in the first place, if they have a non-cooperative? And then a step ahead is, how do you enroll for NYSC without your certificate? And then on the third side, what kind of certificate did you submit to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the point that you were appointed as his minister in 2023? These are the big questions.
Like I said, that's what will be unraveled as the matter continues today. Because he said that he has not collected the certificate. What if what he presented was a statement of results? Those are the things, like I said, when the matter continues today, we'll get the full gist. Because definitely, if he went for NYSC, definitely his result must have been, the certificate must have been presented, or a statement of his result in lieu of his certificate. So if he's saying that maybe he has not collected his certificate, I think it's besides the point. The issue is about forgery. And the forgery is, what did he present to NYSC? That is the real issue. What did he present to NYSC? So if he has not collected, what he presented to NYSC, is it the same thing that emanated from UNN? Those are the real issues here. What he presented during his NYSC, is it the same thing? What he presented during his screening for his ministerial appointment, is it the same thing with what UNN is yet to issue? So these are matters that will be clearly defined when the matter continues today, because it was an expert application. Today, they might likely take a motion on notice where UNN will now respond to the affidavit because he's an expert. He's simply stating his own side. So if the matter continues today, maybe there will be a motion on notice where UNN, Professor Twanya, and the school authority will now rebut or agree that they have refused to release the certificate to him. I think it's going to be a whole lot of fireworks. But the bottom line is that there is an issue of forgery somewhere. The issue is this: what did he submit, present during his screening? What did he submit while he was preparing to go for NYSC?
Is it a presentation problem or a possession problem? Is it a case of the problem being in terms of presenting this to the president?
You cannot present what you didn't possess.
Possessing it.
Yes, you cannot present what you didn't possess.
So why would you say that he will possess it even if it's not used?
What I'm actually saying is this: because after graduating, they may probably give you your statement of results. The certificate comes sometime later during your convocation. Most schools will issue certificates during convocation. So these are the intricacies in Nigerian institutions. So most times, as you're going for NYC, the certificate may not be ready, and you present your statement of results, which is just the same thing with the certificate, apart from the signatures and some other things, some other embellishments. So the fact remains that what we are trying to find out, and what every person is trying to find out, is what he presented. Is it the same thing that UNN issued? Because the bottom line in all these things is forgery. What other papers are trying to establish is that there was a forgery somewhere along the line. It's a forgery saga. So what did he present at the point that he was being screened for ministerial appointment? Because if he's saying that UNN has not issued with certificate, is there a further paragraph that said what I presented was a statement of results? Because there's a discordant, you understand, in the entire thing. Because he's saying UNN refused to issue my certificate. Question: what did you present during your screening? Was it a certificate, or did you generate a document that didn't issue from UNN?
The question is, can you get a statement of results from an institution if you don't complete your studies in that institution? Because for you to have a statement of results, you must have completed your 4-year or 6-year course, isn't it? Okay, so let's take this letter now. This is still obtained from Premium Times, and I'm sure I'll put it on the screen. It's titled Request for Verification of Degree Certificates. That is replying, of course, Nnaji Jeffrey Uchechukwu. Now, this letter was signed by the Senior Deputy Registrar, Records, on behalf of the Registrar. And it reads in part, this is to certify that Nnaji Jeffrey Uchechukwu with registration number 1981/30725 was admitted into the University of Nigeria, Nsukka in 1981. We wish to inform the Public Complaints Commission that we have searched through the University of Nigeria graduation record for 1985 session, and we could not find Mr. Nnaji Jeffrey Uchechukwu's name. There is no indication that the certificate was issued by the University of Nigeria. Please feel free to contact us if you need any other information. Now, this was obtained from Premium Times.
Yes.
And this is from the registrar. And we do have the letter too that was sent by the Vice Chancellor to the newspaper, which we would reveal soon. But let's look at this. So, reports right now are emerging saying that the VC does not have the power to start giving such information about records, that this should come from the registrar.
Yes.
That's what the most recent news is. So you've seen this. What's your takeaway from this? Is this something that should hold water in any way or form?
Well, it all depends, because this publication appears to agree with Uchennazi's posture in his affidavit. Emotional expertise. He says the school has not released my certificate to me. So, and they're saying that by their record from the publication, that the certificate is yet to be issued. And then there's also a snag in that publication. The snag suggests that he didn't actually complete his program. Because said that we've searched through our records. They didn't say that it was issued sometime later, or it is yet to be issued, or it is in the process of being issued. So the snag there is that we have searched through our record. It does appear that it has not been issued. So what happened to it? Is it ready for issuance? Did it complete? Are we sure there's a certificate? So it's neither here or there. Because that publication is one-sided, is lopsided, it's not comprehensive. It didn't actually solve any problem. The only problem is it actually suggests that no certificate has been issued. Is there a certificate? What is stopping the issuance of the certificate? Did he complete his program? Did he not complete the... So it's neither here nor there. So I think that there's a hanky-panky anywhere, everywhere. But then what we solve is that if the matter continues, then the whole truth will come out, because we are not even sure. Tomorrow, the registrar will come back and say, I didn't issue this. There are documents everywhere. He can retract and say, it is not my document. It is AI generated.
Happens on People's Gazette, huh?
Yes.
As the case of what was submitted to People's Gazette, when the registrar said one thing and turned around and said
another thing. So yeah.
In the year 1985, 1st of May 1986, Uchennazi wrote to the school that he wants to continue to finish up his education, which some of his courses he failed, from report, right? He failed some of his the courses, and they've given him time to come and rewrite those, and he didn't. Right. So that letter he wrote was declined. Right. So let's start from there and start tracing this. If you have outstanding exams to write because you failed some papers, right? Then how can an institution hand you over that you've completed a certificate?
That is what I'm saying. That's why I said that. That was why I mentioned earlier on that the letter purportedly issued by the registrar was neither here nor there. The letter would have been very explicit in saying that, hey, he didn't complete his program with us. He still has outstanding. And because of that, we cannot issue certificate. It would have been more clear. So if there was a letter emanated from the minister, which he did not retract, it clearly suggests he didn't finish his program. Remember, see, the bottom line is that somebody is suggesting that he forged a document that he presented. That is the bottom line in all these things. Okay. Whether he graduated or not, the issue that there was something he presented that was purportedly issued by UNN during his ministerial screening. Issue is this: how did you go to NYC without a result? So there's a lot of cover up somewhere. So that is the issue. So the bottom line, the beginning of all this brouhaha is that, Oga, how did you become a minister? What did you present? You presented a certificate, and now you are saying the certificate has not been issued to you, and the university is actually saying that you didn't complete your program. So, Oga Minister, what did you present? Okay, that is the bottom line.
There's something you stated about the political undertone to all this right now. Okay, we understand from the grapevine as alleged that Uchennaji is interested running for the governorship of Enugu State. And also from the grapevine and as alleged that Governor Peter Mbah might be defecting to APC, which we saw some issues one time, that some faction wouldn't want him because they went all loud about it and all that stuff, right? Yes. Do you think that this is the inception, the advent of all these problems coming to the forefront at this point in time? All this investigation started since 2023, regarding when he submitted his documents, certificate, during his screening as the minister, right? So, but coming to the front burner at this point in time, do you think, as you stated, the political undertone, that this could actually be the leeway to these issues?
Oh, that's why I said earlier on, I believe it's purely political. It was not today that he was screened as a minister. It was not today that he attended NYC. See, he purportedly graduated in 1985. So why are we talking about it now? If not for political reasons. People are trying to discredit Minister Uchennaji. That is what it is. And whether he completed or not is not the issue now. The issue that is purely political. I'm not an LPC stalwart. I'm not supporting him, but I want to see this from the prism of reality. He graduated purportedly 1985. Why did not anybody talk about it up till now? We presented a certificate, whether it was forged, whether it was real, whether it was doctored. Nobody talked about it until now.
The controversy around his certifications have been in the news since 2023. And an advanced search would show that this has been in the news. But coming up now, in somewhat of a double-barreled form, where you're not just contending with an NYSC certificate or a school SAT, you're looking at both of them at the same time. So if we have the NYSC certificate, of course, we'll put that on screen. We're seeing the timeline. Some people are also saying who has served for 13 months in the National Youth Service Corps, right? And
yes, an extension.
We do have that.
Some people do get extension.
So we do have that image. I'm sure everybody will put that up on screen now. So, you have the dates there listed from April 1985 to May 1986. The certificates, of course, would show that. So what's your take on this?
Well, like I said, there are lots of cover-up. But I wouldn't want this matter to be settled out of court. It has to be ironed out strictly in court. UNN has to come out. Even NYC should be joined as a party in the suit. If they're not a party presently, they have to be joined as a party so that all these things will come to fore. Nigerians need to know the truth about their leaders.
Just a moment, Barrister Nwabuko. Let's go on a quick break now. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Stay tuned. Welcome back. The program is still the Afia Morning Show, still assessing headlines with legal practitioner Barrister Nwabuko. So we're talking about the 13-month issue concerning the certificates, and of course that has also stirred fresh controversy. Now, we don't know the side of the minister himself. Afia TV did reach out yesterday but was not able to receive feedback at the time of this broadcast. Afia TV has also reached out to the UNNVC, Prof. Simon Otwanya, but none of the calls were taken as at the time of trying to investigate a lot of these documents. But we did reach out multiple times, and we're still hoping for some kind of feedback from both parties. But let's get your take. 13 months as seen in the certificate purportedly issued by NYSC. What's your take?
That's why I've said that I want this case to go on. And I want NYSC to be a party. Whether NYSC say this is our document, or they may issue a statement or an affidavit saying it's not our document. If that is actually done, then the minister is in trouble. So issues is who presented what. So it's important that Nigerians should know the truth. Nobody serves in NYSC for 13 months or for 14 months as it were, or for 9 months as it were. So unless the person has an extension. So these are things that Nigerians should know. Whoever is serving the public, the records has to be very clear so that Nigerians can have confidence in their leaders. So I think for me, I keep on saying it's political, but then political, most important is that Nigerians should know the truth. So if there's a forgery, we should know. If our minister forged, we should know. If he's innocent, we should know. So Nigerians will have confidence in people who are leading us.
Does this tell a lot about our Senate, and also our security architecture or DSS and all that security service, on how they screen, investigate these individuals, when they, like, Shina is a minister, definitely submitted all these documents, by the way, so does this tell...
Quick caveat, we can't confirm if he submitted those documents. Like Barrister Nwabuko said, he would have submitted a transcript, right? Well, so let's leave it in the realm of speculation.
Well, realm of speculation, but for now, he submitted something, right? Investigations and all that stuff, right? Proper investigations before approving these individuals. Does this tell a whole lot about the, yes, the I have it, and no counters to whatever it is and all that stuff, because the rubber stamp is working.
It shows that we are not serious as a people. Have you watched Senate screening people? Somebody comes in to hold a national office and they tell him to take a bow. Where is it done? Somebody hold public trust, administer a ministry, because the person is a friend to the president, the president nominee, and the person comes, and over 360 men and women will say, take a bow. The person is not screened. Who screens them? There's no screener at the National Assembly. That's why we're having these issues. Because if they are proper screening, these things will not come up. Somebody would have detected it. Maybe even somebody in the opposition party would have detected it and said, fine, we have a snag here. What do you do about this? But then in Nigeria, we are not serious as a people. We take things for granted. A lot of people who are leading us don't even have certificates. A lot of them are not even qualified. A lot of them are parading with forged documents everywhere. That's why we have these issues coming up often and on, because we are not serious as a people. Nobody screening anybody. Once the person is the nominee of a governor, of a president, the eyes will always have it, and then they will take a person, tell a person to take a bow. Somebody who should lead people in Nigeria, hold a ministry, be the captain of a ministry, tell the person to take a bow. Nobody looks at the documents. It's unfortunate. We are not serious as a people.
So what does this say about everyone involved? What does it say about, like Oji rightly pointed out, the Senate? What does it say about the institution? What does it say about the individual? What does it say about everything? That a minister who is in charge of innovation, science, and technology was, if this report proves true, as alleged and purported, was allowed to carry on his duties without a full-fledged degree in the courses he's said to have studied.
What
does it say about everything? Because now people are questioning the institution as well. I mean, the registrar, you issue one statement, one letter to People's Gazette, and then another to Premium Times. What does it say about all the actors who have been hit by this slingshot?
It shows that we are not transparent as a people. We want to know what's actually happening. We're not transparent. There are a lot of secrets everywhere. Why is issuing a certificate an uphill task? If there's a certificate, let us see it. If the NYC certificate is correct, let us see it. So there are a lot of secrecy in our country, especially as it regards to public officers. We tend to shield people who are committing crimes in Nigeria, especially when the person is politically exposed. So it shows that we have lots of respect to political office holders as against doing the right thing in the country.
It's a big one. Barrister Nwabuko, we're out of time, and we do have a long way to go today. Thank you once again for joining the program.
My pleasure.
And like you said, we'll watch and see how developments go. And this is still an open invitation to everyone involved in this certificate scandal to reach out to Afia TV and share your side of the story, as there are 3 sides to every story. Oji's side, Barrister Nwabuko's side, and the truth. So let's wait on that. And this is just again open invitation. So please reach out and share your account of things and add your voice to the conversation. The morning show returns in just seconds. When we do return, we'll go around the region. And much later on today's show, we're joined by a reporter, the investigative reporter of Premium Times, who did unravel this case as he shares us how he led up to the final conclusions reached in this report. Stay tuned.